The trade talks are a big part of the president's four-country Asia tour. I spoke to Murray Hebert, Deputy Director and Senior Fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, and I asked if the president's expectations were too high for an agreement.
Well, the expectations were very high. There was a lot of hope that President Obama and Prime Minister Abe would be able to come to some agreement and move forward on the TPP. They were bogged down in the areas of agriculture, autos, where where the U.S. and Japan have been bogged down for a while. So it's not terribly surprising. I think it's disappointing for a lot of people that hoped they would take further steps. But trade agreements are hard.
Next stop, South Korea, their involvement, and what do you expect to hear or not hear regarding TPP?
Well, the Koreans are not a member of the TPP, but they are in the what you might call the second tranche. There are some countries like Korea and Philippines have expressed a lot of interest in joining when the first round of talks that include the 12 countries that the U.S. and Japan are part of, when those are done. But right for now, they can only express interest and prepare for that eventuality.
You mentioned the Philippines. Malaysia is also a stop as well. What will their involvement in the TPP be, and what will the U.S. be asking them for?
Well, Malaysia is a full member. In Malaysia, it's had some domestic concerns, domestic opposition to the Malaysia joining this, concerns about what will happen on intellectual property rights, what will happen on government procurement issues. So there's concerns. I think President Obama will encourage Prime Minister Najib to push ahead as quickly as possible, but recognizing that he also has problems.
One of the elephants in the room is, of course, China. They have expressed interest through outside circles about the program, but we haven't heard any more since. Is that a topic of discussion, and why might or why might not countries want to see China involved in this TPP process?
Well, China, after initially expressing quite a bit of reservation about it, has been saying over the last year or so that it might be interested in joining down the road. Like other countries, that isn't possible now because they're trying to close the 12 countries out first. Why China would want to join? It's going to provide increased market access for Chinese goods in countries like the United States, like Japan, like Australia. Other countries would like China in there because in the TPP because it will bring China into the international rules-making, global rules-making trade regime.
You said it's too late for now. Explain to our viewers what that means. So there is a possibility.
The 12 countries that are now members have decided that it's so complicated doing it with these 12. They need to finish this round first. Once that's finished, they have agreed they will open it up to other countries. That could include Korea, Philippines, potentially China, some in Latin America as well.
Talk to us about the role of potentially Taiwan here.
Well, Taiwan would be very interested, obviously, and it's expressed interest. Taiwan has to do some stuff domestically, as do most countries, actually, but Taiwan has to do some more economic reforms to show that it's fully ready to liberalize its economy. The big issue, of course, is if China wants to get in, does it agree that Taiwan can be in? But I don't know to what extent China would agree that Taiwan could join the TPP.
What is going to be, in your opinion, the final sticking point that we can get over that hump and get closer to having a deal done?
Well, it seems like right now the big sticking point is between Japan and the United States, and that is over market access for U.S. agricultural products like meat products, rice, sugar, etc., and increased access for automobiles. And that's really what's got to be dealt with now. But ultimately, when they get over this hurdle, there are others such as how open financial services will be. So this is, and what investment regimes will be established. So this is really very complicated. But for the last few months, it's been stuck on this one issue, which means basically everything is stuck because other countries, before they make their offers, are waiting to see what Japan and the United States agree to.
Thank you, Murray Hebert, Deputy Director and Senior Fellow at the Center for Strategic and International Studies.